Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to break down the Ahsoka trailer that just released. So I have watched this, but today we're just going to break it down for you guys and just, talk Star Wars together. It came out when I was on a camp with my friends, and one of my closest friends, that we've been Star Wars mad together ever since we were like 7 or 8 years old. And, it came up on his phone. He was like, oh my God, we got to watch it together. And we watched it like twice. And it was beautiful. It was a great trailer. I think it was much better than the teaser. Yeah, it's great. I think it's really well put together, but today we're just going to break it down together. So yeah, let's do it. So the opening shot. So it starts off with an Imperial, is that Imperial? Yeah, I think it's an Imperial shuttle, or maybe a stolen Imperial shuttle going towards, I gotta remember this is the show is taking place about 8 years after Return of the Jedi, because it takes place like at the same time as Mando season 3, which is about 8-9 years after Return of the Jedi, I think. So yeah, so I think this is a stolen Imperial shuttle going towards a resistance, not resistance, like a what's the New Republic, is that what it's called? Yeah, the New Republic, one of the New Republic cruisers.
War is inevitable. One must.
So, this guy, it says war is inevitable, and he's obviously some kind of, he's a Force user, and he's working for Thrawn, or I think he's looking for Thrawn. I'm not really sure what he's doing. But rest in peace, the actor that passed away. That's really unfortunate because he never got to see the finished product. And if he lives in the season, he can't really play a season 2. So it's really sad. It's really sad that someone has to die like this. It kind of reminds me of Heath Ledger, when in The Dark Knight, he died before the movie came out. So it's just, things happen and it's sad. He's quite young as well. They made him look older in this show. I think he was like 60. He died very young. It's really sad. But we see I think this is it's a trap guy. It's a trap species. I've had so many brain farts today. What is the species name? Not the Quarren. The Mon Calamari. That was it. I think it was a Mon Calamari there. There's obviously a human, and they're rebels looking at this I'm not going to say Sith, sort of ex-Inquisitor maybe, and his apprentice. It's going to be interesting to see that dynamic, because I think, he knew Anakin, because there's a line in this trailer like that says that Anakin spoke well of you to Ahsoka, highly of you, and so he obviously knew Anakin. So he was a Jedi in the Jedi Order back in the prequels, and he's probably about the same age as Anakin back then. So during the Empire, he must have survived by giving in to the Empire or something, being an Inquisitor. Some Jedi did that to survive, and now he's here, even surviving the fall of the Empire, and now trying to return to it, working for Thrawn, or trying to find Thrawn to work for him, maybe take him down as like an opposing threat to their leadership. I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see. But the set designs in this show look brilliant. CGI looks crisp. Dave Filoni knows what he's doing. He knows how to make a Star Wars show.
Destroy in order to create.
Yeah. One must destroy in order to create. And we see sort of rebels getting flinged off, getting killed. Kind of reminds me of the Rogue One ending scene where Darth Vader just slaughters those rebels in the hallway. Yeah.
We are no Jedi.
I like how this series is going to be dark. Yeah, they're not going to be tame with it. They're not going to be tame with it. They're going to be... I like that. Because in Rebels, you barely see... Because it's very kid-friendly. So you barely see anyone kill someone. It's either Jedi just slicing off the blasters and Force pushing them away. It's nothing like killing, but in this series, Rebels season 5, as a lot of people are calling it, Dave Filoni isn't afraid to take risks in this show, which I'm glad, because in the first 6 seasons of Clone Wars, there was no like stopping to just killing clones and, you know, lightsaber stab through the chest. There wasn't any, you know, resistance to that. But when Rebels started, and then Clone Wars season 7, you know, you see a lot of just lightsabers slicing off the blaster and not actually killing the person, because it's very kid friendly. And also the Lucasfilm logo is red. Ooh, spooky. Yeah, Ahsoka looks great. I think that Dave Filoni, Rosario Dawson, I think her name is, playing Ahsoka in live action, is a great choice. I think she suits the look. She has the movements. I think it's great. I think what I've seen of her in Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, it's you know, she's done a brilliant job already, and I cannot wait to see this show and for her to take front center stage. You know.
Whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to
Ooh, Thrawn! That previous shot, if I can just go back a second.
I started hearing whispers of
Oh,
Thrawn.
I missed it then. Almost missed it. It seems to be some sort of Jedi temple, maybe something to hint towards the World Between Worlds. So the World Between Worlds was introduced in Rebels Season 4, and I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest. It kind of creates a lot of plot holes. That, you know, Ezra got into there, was the only person who was able to get into there and save Ahsoka, and you can just look into every different timeline and you can tamper with it. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest, but it's cool, but it's very risky. You know, it's very risky. It's going to create a lot of plot holes if you're not careful, and you know, maybe the World Between Worlds will get destroyed, or maybe Ezra is the only person that can get into it for some reason. Yeah, it's interesting to see. It looks like there's a ancient Jedi here with an orb in the middle, where it's some kind of holocron maybe. I think Dave Filoni did say something along the lines of the World Between Worlds is a echo of the past. If it's an echo, then how can you tamper with time? You know, that's where the risky bit comes in. So I'm going to be interested. I'm going to keep my my arms open to, and my mind open to whatever Dave Filoni throws at me. But I just hope it all makes sense in the end, to a logical degree, where it doesn't create many plot holes, because that's where a lot of controversy comes in with Star Wars fans.
Return as heir to the Empire.
I mean, obviously we see Thrawn's face in this trailer as well, but he looks like, a lot of people are comparing him to Elon Musk. Yes, he does look like Elon Musk, but he looks great, and you know, he's not going to look like exactly like live action in animation. Animation is like, you know, he's so chiseled, his head's so big. You know, you're not gonna get, it's not realistic to someone in real life, you know. So Lars Mikkelsen played his voice, so it's only fitting for him to play Thrawn in live action. He's got the stature. He's like 6'3", 6'4", and he's, you know, his face, he's chiseled, just like Thrawn. The red eyes really stand out, that you're gonna see later on, and he's gonna be a very opposing villain. You know, a very opposing villain. It's gonna be interesting because this is probably the most intimidating villain in all of Star Wars that does not use the Force. You know, so it's gonna be great. I love a villain that can't use the Force, but it's just so manipulative, so clever, so intelligent. You know, yeah, Thrawn. I love Thrawn so much. I loved Thrawn in season 3 of Rebels. Thought he was outstanding. He's looking out. This is probably a ship or something. It's his home base. I'm not sure, but we're gonna have to see. He's great movements, great demeanor. I think Lars Mikkelsen is, you know, the perfect choice for this role. And that there, I don't know what that is exactly.
What happens when you find through?
Alright, so what we see here is like a Jedi temple of some sort, some rock formations. You know, something to do with the Force, and we see the ex-Inquisitors walking towards this.
What happens when you find Thrawn?
I'm just going to call them dark side users. But this lady here we see in Mando, season 2, episode 6, episode 5, sorry, when we see Ahsoka and we see them fight. Ahsoka takes her out, and obviously she's still working for Thrawn. So we see them all together. She kind of looks like on her face that she is, you know, being forced to do something. She's not there as an ally. She's there as a hostage to these two dark side users. It just looks like on her facial expression. So maybe she knows something about Thrawn's location, and these dark side users are trying to find Thrawn. So she's a lead for them. Maybe she's creating a map, as you're about to see.
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
So maybe that map shows where Thrawn is, or something to do with the World Between Worlds. Because this series is going to be very centered around the World Between Worlds, just because of the logo as well. You just see the logo and just that it's the World Between Worlds. So it's going to be very center stage. And I feel like Ezra in this time period is going to be tampering with it a lot, probably. You know, because he's been missing for many years, so he's gonna have to be up to something. Oh, sick! Absolutely sick. And we see this. Oh, I keep stopping in the wrong. I keep missing the button. There we go. Okay, you see here. This looks beautiful. We see, you know, the New Republic, the ships, the classic Return of the Jedi ships. Looks great. Looks great. And we see the Sith apprentice, well, the dark side user apprentice, and just like killing rebels. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war.
Hera with the ghost, well, the little ghost ship. Oh my goodness. Chasing something. I don't know what that seems to be. It looks like some Imperial craft carrying some valuable, you know, cargo. So maybe Hera's after that. It's great to see the part of the ghost again. Hera, Chopper. Hera looks great. A lot of people were complaining how she looks. I think she looks perfect. Like, her eyes are amazing as well, like beautiful eyes. But yeah, I think this is great. Like, not a single bit of CGI has caused an issue with me. This looks like Star Wars. You know, this looks like Rebels in live action perfectly. So yeah.
That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me.
And we see in this shot, we see
That's why I'm trying to convince.
we see Mon Mothma. We see, you know, obviously New Republic leaders. Mon Mothma's in the middle, showing that she's, you know, center stage of all of them. Hera, these people, I don't know who they are. But you know, it's probably best to see that we don't know who they are, so it just creates, like, you know, this bigger perspective to Star Wars and you know, the New Republic in general. I keep saying the New Order or Resistance, the New Republic. All right, but yeah, we see some rebels in the background. This looks great. Looks great.
You to help me prevent another one.
In this shot, we see Ahsoka and the droid from Clone Wars walking down from her ship, the classic ship. Oh my god, the classic Jedi ship. Oh my goodness, can't wait to see that. And this is probably a rebel ship. It's in space, and Ahsoka's just docked. And yeah, this droid is from Clone Wars, from the Jedi Youngling arc in season 5. And this is the same robot that is voiced by the same guy who voices Doctor Who. I forgot his name. But yeah, he's basically constructs lightsabers and has all the lightsaber parts for the younglings. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty good to see him again. So it looks like Ahsoka and Hera are gonna team up and you know, try and take down Thrawn. I like how Hera's gonna have a lot of screen time in this, hopefully. Just seems like it, which is gonna be good. Seeing Lothal again, gets me so giddy. And Sabine, Sabine looks great.
Stubborn as ever.
Her hair on the highway. there's a lot to digest there. So
You never made things easy for me.
a little droid, and she says master. So right there, we just have a lot of callbacks to Anakin and Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order. That she's left her master, now she's left her apprentice. It's going to be interesting because Sabine can't use the Force, and I really hope they don't change that. Because I really hope she can't use the Force in this. I hope she's just someone who has Jedi lightsaber skills, who is a Mandalorian, which kind of reminds me of the first Mandalorian Jedi, but she can't use the Force, and it makes a very interesting dynamic to Ahsoka, who can use the Force and is her master, but has to train her in the way of the Jedi by maybe just training her an understanding of the Force and how to combat the Force if she's faced on an opponent who has the Force, which is actually seen later on in the trailer where she faces off against one of the dark side users. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting dynamic. I think Sabine's story arc is gonna be very great in this. But yeah, we see a callback to Anakin. She's left. Ahsoka leaves a lot. We're hopefully going to see the reasons why. But Dave Filoni, has created a very interesting dynamic between Ahsoka and Sabine in this. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. We see a map here they're looking at. Oh, man, these scenes, these one-to-one, just scenes of them just speaking, it's gonna get my eyes glued to the screen. It just looks like Star Wars, It just looks like it. It looks Dave Filoni, man. Ah.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make
Ezra.
a decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
So we see Sabine's helmet there.
Counting on you to see this through.
Yeah, so basically, I think that's exactly what Ezra says in the last episode of Rebels season 4, I think. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I think it is when he goes into hyperspace with the space whales, with Thrawn, and that's how they disappear in the first place. They literally go to the outer reaches of the Outer Rim, or even further than that, with the hyperspeed from whales, and Thrawn and Ezra are just missing miles and miles away, and Sabine wants to find them. So we see her iconic helmet here. Oh, just Sabine is such an interesting character. With the dark saber in Rebels. She's probably my favourite character in Rebels, just because how interesting her backstory is. And the art side of her as well, the Mandalorian side, the lightsaber side, her relationship with Ezra and the Ghost crew. She's a very interesting character, and I can't wait to see her flush that more as a story arc in this show. So yeah, she cut her hair. I mean, she's ready to kick some ass and find Ezra. So yeah, how many years does this take after Star Wars Rebels? Let's think. Star Wars Rebels season 4 takes place like 6 years before New Hope. I think so. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12, 24. This probably takes around 15 to 18 years after Rebels. So it's been a long time that Sabine's just been sitting there, being trained by Ahsoka and wanting to save Ezra, but she doesn't know how. Maybe Ahsoka has a lead on Thrawn, and that's how Sabine knows, okay, last time we saw Ezra was with Thrawn. So if we can find Thrawn, we can find Ezra. So maybe that's what they're thinking.
Nice haircut.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our...
The fight choreography is going to be great. I hope they have the same guy who did the prequels choreography doing this show, because that would be sick. How sick would that be? They give hints. This choreography looks pretty good. It does. And we see the iconic painting here, Kanan, Hera, the Loaf Cat, Ezra, Sabine, Zeb, Chopper. We see them all. And this is the same shot from the ending of Star Wars Rebels, when Sabine has a haircut, going off to Ahsoka, and we're going to see that scene once again in live action here. But yeah, it's going to be good.
Personal feelings.
Alright, so here, Ahsoka has a different outfit on. I noticed this second time I watched the trailer. So it looks like she's wearing some kind of rebel uniform. It looks pretty cool. Sabine, the ship looks very clean. Looks like they're fighting some big monster, you know. It's not Star Wars without a big monster, you know. They're being
If we don't stop Thrawn,
they're being chased by some ship, and they're there we go. We've got Thrawn. So we see his massive, you know, Grand Admiral uniform, a little thing there that just symbolizes how far he outranks everyone. Yeah, he looks intimidating, and you will have the voice, and the voice will just, his voice is very iconic, very intimidating, and he's probably the most intelligent leader, apart from Sidious maybe, that I've seen ever in the Empire, you know. Because like, if you compare this to The Last Jedi, like General Hux making your mum jokes in the first 5 minutes of the film, like comparing him as an intimidating opponent to Thrawn is ridiculous. And Thrawn is, I really hope Thrawn doesn't have any comedy. I hope he's just plain old harsh, cruel. I want to see that, and I know Dave Filoni will make that happen, because this show looks, you know, it looks dark, but it feels like Star Wars. You know, it feels like it's hitting all the right notes.
everything will be in vain.
So obviously Thrawn has some kind of plan to reborn the Empire, or something like that, and you know, take over the galaxy maybe. So it's gonna be, I don't know what Thrawn's plan is exactly gonna be to do that, but we're gonna have to see. He's been in hiding for a long time, so he's had a lot of, you know, a lot of time to think. And here we go. Here's Sabine probably trying to use the Force, but can't. And then we see the dark side user's apprentice say,
You have no power.
saying you have no power, meaning, you know, she doesn't have the Force, but it looks like Sabine is kicking her ass in a way. And you know, I just can't wait for this. There's so many lightsaber fights hinted in this trailer. It just feels like Rebels again, because in Rebels, like every other episode, there's a lightsaber fight. So it feels like Dave Filoni is going with the same formula. It's gonna be good, and yeah, it's coming.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
Yeah, okay. Anakin spoke highly of you. Oh, that's gonna hit hard for Ahsoka. So we see them in this chamber area. I think we see it earlier in this trailer, where the same woman that Ahsoka faced in Mandalorian season 2, sort of activating it, and the whole map kind of creates around. This looks like World Between Worlds, but I don't think it is exactly. I don't know, maybe it is. But we see them, you know, Ahsoka looks very composed here. She doesn't look frightened or scared, meaning, you know, she's mastered the ways of the Jedi. And it looks like, you know, nothing massive is at stake maybe. I don't know. She looks very composed and calm. And she's a grey Jedi, so. And then we see the dark side users master there with her, and they obviously fight. It kind of looks like they're not. It kind of looks like they're dueling. Like dueling in a way that's like frantic, you know, in a way that's sort of planned. I don't know how to describe it. But it's going to be interesting to see these two dynamics. To see these two dynamics. I don't know if Ahsoka. Yeah, Ahsoka does have her 2 white lightsabers, doesn't she? So
I'm not here.
yeah, it looks like they're dueling in a way that's like, okay, are you ready? Are you ready to fight? And then they fight, not like just coming out of nowhere and ambushing the other person. But we see Ahsoka running for this massive destruction to her ship. Looks like that same Jedi Temple area. It's going to be good.
To discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
That line is great. Once a rebel, always a rebel. Hera's gonna have some great one-liners, and the droid looks great. Choreography, beautiful. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know who this is, but a lot of people have theories that this could be the 8th brother or Barriss Offee. I think Barriss Offee would be interesting because obviously her and Ahsoka has a rich backstory. I can't speak. What's going on, my? Obviously, Barriss Offee and Ahsoka has a rich past in the Clone Wars. Barriss Offee was the one that set Ahsoka up, left Ahsoka betrayed with the Jedi Council, forced her to leave, and maybe this is Barriss Offee becoming an Inquisitor, surviving the fall of the Jedi and surviving the fall of the Empire as well. So obviously, if she's survived both of those, she has some excellent skills. So it's going to be interesting. But this looks like it's hard to tell. I have a feeling this isn't Barriss Offee, and this is the 8th brother. But Dave Filoni has a thing about getting cameos in and getting, you know, things he wants in there. So it's gonna be, yeah, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. It's gonna be a Scooby-Doo sort of thing where they just take the mask off. Is it Barriss Offee? Yeah, they're fighting in some woodland area, which means this Inquisitor is probably following her or something across the galaxy. Maybe following her because Ahsoka knows where Thrawn is now, and they're trying to find Thrawn as well, so it's kind of the wild goose chase. Yeah, see, the logo here is the World Between Worlds, so, but it looks like the World Between Worlds. And 2-episode premiere, I can't wait, 2-episode premiere. Oh my goodness, and that was a trailer, so that was my breakdown. I'm gonna be reacting to this on the channel, hopefully, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be absolutely wonderful. You know, I haven't been hyped. You know, I was hyped for Andor and Bad Batch and Obi-Wan, but this show, this is probably the most hyped I've been for a Star Wars show since Clone Wars Season 7, probably. I'm so excited for this. I'm honestly, because it's Dave Filoni as well, directing all of them, written the whole series, like 8 episodes as well. I'm excited, and I hope you are too. And let me know your excitement level in the comments below. And yeah, I'm just gonna go into this with high expectations. I don't even care. I know the saying is like, you know, expect disappointment and you won't be disappointed, but you know, that's just like very, I don't know, in my, as a person, for me, doing that is very, you know, negative. No, I'm all about positivity, and I know Dave Filoni is a great director. He's never let me down, so I'm gonna go in this with high expectations, and it's probably gonna even smash those. You know, it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, don't know how long each episode's gonna be, but you know, I don't really care if it's 10 minutes, as long as it's good. So, yeah, I know it's gonna be good. But yeah, I'm very excited, and yeah. Have a nice day, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.